Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection In Space Silver Ranger Walgreens Exclusive. This is a funky one, as Hasbro has not yet still officially announced or revealed this figure. However, it has gone up on HasbroPulse.com immediately following the Hasbro Pulse 1027 premium event. So it's just all weird. So this started popping up in China. Canada then started getting it, all this and that, and then Hasbro Pulse had it in stock all of a sudden in their back in stock section when the exclusive drops happened for the 1027 event. But they still had every chance during PulseCon and the 1027 event to say something about it, but they still have not. And I'm sure, I wonder if it's something to do with Walgreens, you know, because it is their exclusive and how they would like it to be revealed or whatever the case may be. But the marketing has been funky, I'll agree. But either way, I have mine. I did not get mine from Walgreens. I did not get it from Hasbro Pulse. This is actually imported from China, as you can see the international label there. So I paid the premium to get it imported over, and then lo and behold, Hasbro Pulse just throws it up. No big deal, in stock. Hey, order it. So pretty crazy. It sold out pretty quickly, and I'm not sure if non-premium members were actually able to get it. So just a bunch of funky stuff going with it. But this almost completes the In-Space team. Still waiting on Cassie, the In-Space Pink Ranger from Wave 10. It has not released yet, it appears. Hopefully it should be releasing soon according to GameStop, and GameStop seems to be the only ones that have gotten Wave 10. So like the In-Space Phantom Ranger, which is really the Turbo Phantom Ranger. But it is coming along nicely. I will show a comparison side by side with the In-Space Psycho Silver Ranger, or Silver Psycho Ranger, however you want to say it. And then we'll take a look at both Zane heads and how they look on each of the figures, I guess, because I think this is the better of the two. Still not great, but definitely better. Anyway, we see the accessories, we see the packaging looks very cool for the Silver Ranger as it wraps around. We get the 3D render right there of the figure. So let's get right to it and take Zane out of the box. Okay, and here's the Zane In-Space Silver Ranger figure out of the package, and this is an interesting one. He does look pretty good, but the decision to go with a silver-like plastic over a silver paint is a little bit odd, but I actually do think it's probably for the better. As good as they can do silver, like case in point the In-Space Psycho Silver Ranger or Silver Psycho Ranger, the silver looks very good on like the armor and the shoulder pads and the helmet and things like that. But the entire figure, I'm not sure exactly how they would do it, and they're really not going to apply a silver paint to the entirety of the figure. That's just not something that Hasbro does. They use the molded color plastic and then paint over in certain parts, but there's no way they're going to paint an entire figure, so there's no way Hasbro was going to do that. And then when you look at like when you watch the show, you look at pictures of the Silver Ranger, it's not that it was like this super silver like color. You know, it was kind of it was very bright, so it kind of makes sense. You know what I mean? Like this silver looks more of like a metal silver, whereas the suit didn't necessarily really look like that. So I kind of like what they did. If you're not a fan of the marbleization in the plastic that Hasbro has done, like with Marvel Legends and things like that, you probably won't like the design of this, but I think it works twofold here. You know, it gives you the color, but it gives you the slight color differences in the way the light bounces off of it to kind of show that silver, that bright metallic type color. So that is pretty cool. In terms of the weapons and accessories, he has his what is this? The Power Silverizer, the Silverizer Blaster, something like that. You actually get like these two, the Super Silverizer. You actually get these two. So you get the one for like the blaster effect, which is pretty cool. It looks like you could almost port something in there down at the end of the barrel, but then he has the one with the blade out version. We have this new effect piece, so it's kind of the spiral yellow blast effect piece. You can kind of slip it over the blade. You kind of have to work it to get it in, but then it holds real tight. But then he has the one with the blade actually out there, which is pretty cool. We get the unmasked Zane head, which is a whole hell of a lot better than the one that we got in the In-Space Silver 2-pack, as you can see there, and I'll show close-ups of those a little bit later on. And then we get interchangeable hands. So out of the package, he has like the trigger finger hands for the right and left. Then we get a fist for the right, and then we get the open flat out hand for the left. But now let's get in for a closer look at Zane. Okay, so here's the close-up of the In-Space Silver Ranger, and again, looks really good. First, I want to talk about the accessories. So the Super Silverizer, this is really cool. I like the way it wraps around his hand and he can hold it. However, that's a pain in the ass to get his hand firmly around the handle without, you know, with getting it under the fingers. So you have to spend some time to kind of work around it. And to be honest, it was more of a pain in the ass than I actually really would have thought. But, you know, you spend a few minutes and then you can kind of get it in there. You know, getting it out is much easier because you could just kind of work it out from under the fingers. Well, get it under the thumb. See, now it's becoming a pain in the ass to remove it from his hand. Let's see. That around the thumb. Can't get it. Well, you know what? This is actually my first time trying it now that I got his fingers firmly around the handle, and there we go. Okay. So, again, cool, because you slip your hand in there and you could do it, but again, pain in the ass. And it's not like you can remove the hand, put the hand around the handle, then pop the hand back in, because with the long-ass pegs of these hands, it doesn't really work. So just a heads up on that. Spend some time with it, fight with it, get mad, frustrated, curse a lot. I did. But here, Silver Psycho, so the marbleization, as you could see throughout, they use like a metallic type of plastic. You know, when we see this type of thing, we see a lot of marbleization. The marbleization, again, is the fill lines of the plastic being injected into the mold. So it kind of makes sense. That's how you would see it. You know, when you have a solid color, you're not really going to see those fill lines because, again, it's kind of the nature of the color of the plastic. So when you have the metallic colors, you know, we see those fill lines. But again, what that does is it helps create some of the shine and shimmer with the way the light reflects off of it. So I kind of like that. I know there are others that don't care for it, but I think it works well when it comes to metallic colors and lighting. Sometimes it can look really bad, but it's not always. So I think it actually comes out looking pretty good here. The gold it kind of surprises me on him. So the gold looks pretty good and it blends nicely with the silver of the plastic. So I really like it. It's not like super bright or anything. It's kind of subtle with the suit, which, you know, I can appreciate. It looks about the same gold as that we see on Ashley. Maybe a little bit lighter in color, but still pretty cool. And then we get the green squares there in front. Not a whole lot going on with the rest of the figure. But, you know, definitely a solid release. Looking at the helmet, we get there. One thing that I wonder, I'll have to double check images, but like the mouth plate doesn't have any silver paint on there. I think that maybe could have been a nice touch, so I'll have to double check that. So that maybe, you know, they dropped the ball a little bit there, but otherwise looks pretty good. The helmet sits way too low on the neck though, so, you know, articulation is going to be greatly hindered. Down that much, up that much, not a whole lot, so just be aware of that. Pop the head off, and then we'll take a look at the Zane head, which again I think is actually pretty damn good. To me, that Zane right there, that really looks like him. Yeah, while I'm on it, I would love to get all of the In-Space Rangers in their space suits, you know, like, you know, the gray. I think Zane had black though, which was really cool. I'd love to get like that type of civilian look for the In-Space Rangers. Hopefully one day Hasbro could do something like that, maybe a box set or something. I'd buy the hell out of that. But that Zane head compared to this Zane head, you guys let me know down in the comments below. Which one do you think is better? I think this one is no good. Like, not good at all. Yes, his hair was kind of messed up when he was the Psycho Silver Ranger, but damn, like, his face is completely different. The skin tone is completely different. You know, we've seen Hasbro make second attempts at head sculpts and they come out better. Since technically this one came out first, I guess, by days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, this would be the second release and it is a hell of a lot better. So I'm not sure what the hell happened here. But yeah, that's way better. But if you do like it and prefer it, I'm sure hopefully it'll fit on there. And it actually doesn't really fit on there, so that's kind of surprising actually. So it kind of force on there, but it doesn't really pay. I mean, you can force it down a little bit further, but no, I don't think that looks good. Nah. And then while we're at it, Psycho Silver, pop that head off, pop this Zane head on there. And again, the ball, see the ports are different, so it doesn't, oh, there we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Don't mind that at all. So this one, not this one. That's the way to go. There is Zane right there. Okay, so a better look at the weapon. So the Super Silverizer looks pretty good. Black with some silver paint going on there, and then a translucent blue blade there. That is pretty cool. So here we have the other version. So you can see there are some differences. I guess this kind of folds out there. But if you look closely there, it looks like there's a little bit of a peg hole in that barrel, and I don't know if like that smoke effect from the Marvel Legends can fit in there, but it's interesting that they have a peg hole there in the barrel. And one thing that I'm looking at, it almost looks like it is, the whole thing is the translucent blue plastic and they just painted over it, which wouldn't make sense for this one to do that. This one, you know, it could be that it's all translucent blue and then the silver and black is painted over. Oh yeah, it is, because look at that. I'm chipping away at that black paint and you can see that it is the translucent blue plastic of the blade. But why would this one be the translucent blue plastic also? So that is odd. That's an odd choice why they would do that. But so that's there, and then here's that spiral blast effect. Again, this is really cool. So you can work the blade through the spirals a bit, and it's kind of a pain in the ass a little bit because you gotta, I mean, unless you just kind of spiral out the effect piece, but it holds on there pretty cool. I really like the way that looks. Nice touch. Okay, so now let's look at Zane's articulation. Okay, so Zane's articulation, again, we kind of looked at the neck. The head sits too far down on there, so you can only look down that much. Looking up, he can only look up so much there. Full rotation, of course, not really a whole lot of pivot going on in there. All these figures use the same exact body, so articulation is going to be the same. He can get his arm up that much, get a full rotation. We get the butterfly joint, so he can go back crazy far. He can come forward quite a bit as well. We have the upper bicep swivel in there. We get a double jointed elbow. These are not yet pinless. The Turbo Phantom Ranger is the first one to go pinless. So double jointed elbows like so, wrists swivel, and they do hinge. And I want to make sure I mention this because Plastic on Instagram, I'm sure we'll mention something, but he does have the horizontal hinge instead of the vertical hinge, which he should have when you have some sort of blaster, because it allows for better positioning of the weapon. Most of the Rangers do not have the vertical hinge. However, there have been some, but it is disappointing that, again, you can't truly get it like straight out. You have to have a bend at the elbow, which, you know, he would end up like kind of pointing up. So shout out to Plastic. That's his biggest complaint with most figures. So the diaphragm joint up at the top, so he could pivot to his left that much. He could pivot to his right that much. He can go back on just that upper diaphragm so much, come forward so much as well. But with the inverted ab crunch, in total, he can crunch down that much forward, which is good. Going back, that's a crazy ratchet there. He can go back that much, which is great. There's no waist swivel, but you get a swivel at that diaphragm joint. So turn, 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 turn. There, legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward that much there. Leg, it doesn't really go back. You have an upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed knee, still, again, not yet pinless because these all use essentially the same body mold. So double jointed knee, that much there. Boot swivel. Foot hinges down. You get a little bit of hinge up, but the top of the foot hits that heel portion of the boot there. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So again, with these Power Rangers Lightning Collection figures, they're essentially all the same. So you know their points of articulation. We're going to jump right into it and show some of the side-by-side comparisons with the other Rangers. So we have the Blue Ranger TJ, which came in the Psycho Silver 2-pack, and then Blue Ranger TJ is also getting another re-release with the Galaxy Glider in the deluxe form, which again, that's 5 more figures, well, or 6 if you count Silver to get the Galaxy Glider. So it's kind of crazy that they're just re-releasing some of these figures so damn much with no changes to the Rangers. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I prefer not, but you know, that's not my call to make there. But the Galaxy Gliders are cool. They should have just done like a 5-pack of the Galaxy Gliders or something. That would have been pretty interesting to see. So here are the In-Space Rangers so far. Just again waiting on Cassie, the Pink Ranger. That's going to be an awesome addition once we get that in. So let's get those Rangers out of the way. Let's throw in the Psycho Silver Ranger since it is Zane. there, and that looks pretty good. And again, the difference in the silvers makes sense to me, that this is more of like a metal looking silver, whereas the silver of an outfit, of a suit, would be different. So I like what Hasbro did there. And then for fun, we can throw in like Astronema, right? Because they did go on a date. At least one? Was it more than one? And plus, I think they grew up together on KO35, right? So there is Astronema. Can't wait to get Ecliptor in that 2-pack with another Astronema. Different hairstyle on that one, though, if I'm not mistaken. Different hair color for sure. We need to get more of the Cyborg Astronema with the short red hair. That would be awesome, but, you know, not yet. Zane. Okay, so that is my review of the Walgreens exclusive In Space Silver Ranger. I know it's crazy why Hasbro has not officially revealed him. They did the same thing with the Dino Thunder White Ranger. I think it must have something to do with the partnership with Walgreens and why marketing doesn't make those announcements, because that figure never officially got an announcement or reveal, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I'm not the expert on that. But from what I remember, I don't think it did. It just started showing up and just some crazy stuff. Who knows what's really going on behind the scenes? You know, there's probably more to it than we can imagine and guess, but, you know, who knows? Hopefully he will start showing up at Walgreens soon. Don't know when. Again, weird that Hasbro Pulse did have some quantities. They have been doing the whole partner exclusive thing, having limited quantities on Hasbro Pulse. This was the first Walgreens exclusive figure for Power Rangers in particular, but I don't even know if they've had other Walgreens exclusive figures on Hasbro Pulse in the US anyway. The UK, of course, they have, but like Nova, Quasar, any of the Marvel Legends figures, I don't believe have gotten a Hasbro Pulse release, and I don't think any of the Star Wars Black Series figures have gotten a Hasbro Pulse release. So again, this one is a very odd one. Hopefully you were able to get in an order with Hasbro Pulse. If you have not, be patient. I'm sure they're going to pop up in Walgreens stores semi-soon. Up in Canada, they have hit the GameStop stores, again, because it's exclusive to GameStop in Canada. Usually all Walgreens exclusives go there. So good luck out there. Hopefully you guys can get it. I think it's a solid figure worth picking up. Great 6th Ranger. Power Rangers in Space was the best season, in my opinion. People will disagree. Lots of people will agree, though, I think. A very good, very, very good season. If you haven't checked it out, I do highly recommend it. So there we go. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.